Hello again, it's Evelina with another art update. I've just returned from being the Canterbury Fairy and it was a wonderful experience. Coming at it as a performance, um, being out there and handing out fairy dust to the kids, it was amazing. Um, I didn't actually realise that the festival started was going on today. Um, it was just a happy coincidence, but it was perfect. And there were even what am I saying? There were even parents telling me that their kids were disappointed in the festival because no one was dancing. Um, but of course, I danced with them then. But yeah, I had a great time. I just walked down High Street handing out these little fairy dust pouches. I had done approximately 35 of them. It didn't take that long to empty them out. I think I walked down High Street and was probably halfway back when I ran out. Um, but most of the time I didn't actually have to give them anything. It was just to give them a hug or just compliment their flowery outfits or the dresses. It was incredible. Kind of felt, for a second there, it felt like I was in Disneyland, being one of those people who walks around. Um, but yeah, it was amazing, and it went really well with the kind of defamiliarization that I've been exploring in my work, especially now when I'm kind of using mythological creatures and these story characters in my work. I know I mentioned it before. I was getting, for those who took pictures, I gave them the Canterbury Fairy hashtag. So we'll see if anyone actually uses it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have any evidence except for the fact that when I walked out, I actually met some people that I knew. Yeah, actually, it was because I snuck into the exhibition that they're having now on Canterbury High Street in the hospital, and I met them, and they thought I should at least like film it or have some pictures. So they were really kind and followed me along, and that was incredibly kind of them. So now I actually will have some kind of evidence of all these things that I did, which is great. It's too hot to wear this right now. But it was, as I said, an incredible experience and definitely something that I would do again. Because I was thinking of doing something as like a film idea, but with the kind of style of film that I'm doing at the moment, it's not really. It wouldn't work in the same way since this is more of a performance. So it's more for the people that I actually meet instead of the people that is behind the camera. Still, it was an incredible experience, and yeah, I was definitely tempted to do more of these things. I don't know if perhaps I'm kind of blinded by the fact that there was a bunch of little kids that were like shouting after me, like, oh, "It's fairy, fairy!" and hunting me down. But yeah, it was a great experience. I think that kids' imagination is amazing, and I think it's something I envy. Because they were asking me all these questions that you would ask a fairy. Like, can you fly? So, so how do you get back? And all those wonderful insightful questions. Um, and yeah, it was incredible. I think since the defamiliarization has definitely played a central role in my art, It's kind of released all these ideas of what I want to do, and I think inspiring people to kind of expect more from the world and from the norm. I know that some parents were asking me if I was in some sort of organization, or if what I was doing it for, and it felt really good to say that um, it was a way to use art to make kids happy. Uh, yeah, it felt great. I know. Uh, I think that sometimes we get a too grim a view of the world, with all the news and all the stuff going on. So yeah, to be able to kind of influence and change that in some small way. I mean, a lot of parents said today that I made their day, I made the kids' day, which is an incredible, incredible reward. I mean, even if I didn't have any documentation of this, I would still have that, which is wonderful. I think because I kind of want the world to be more magical, for other people, because it's pretty magical for me. I mean, my faith is at the core of everything I do, and it changes the view that I have on the world. And it's wonderful to wake up and think, what does he have in store for me today? What surprises? What is what does he have for me today? And I kind of view the world as more magical in that way, and expect the unexpected, and just to look for it, which is amazing. And I kind of want to give the same magic to others, and just to make them see how wonderful this world is and can be. Um, so yeah, I mean, I know that it's kind of hard to think of moments that have been defamiliarized to you, but for me, I actually had one 2-3 years ago, that I remember very vividly. I was taking my BA in America, and I was walking to class, and I was in a really good mood. I was like really happy. The sun was shining, and I was like, "Thank you, God, this is awesome." And so I was walking, but I had like a lot of time on my hands, so I took it slow. And when I walked down the path, there was this kind of wall thing running alongside it. It was very high, but I could see there was a butterfly sitting there on the edge as I walked past, but it didn't fly away. So I stopped and I said hi, and I introduced myself and as another of God's creation, and I had a conversation with it, and it didn't fly away, and I talked to it, and it sounds silly, but it was a very magical moment. And so when I was going to leave, I had this acorn that I found, so I gave it to him as a present. And then it didn't fly away then either. So basically, I was like, oh well, I should shake hands to say goodbye. At the same time, I didn't want it to fly away, but so I did it really slowly. I put my finger out like that, and I reached out closer and closer to the little butterfly, and right when I was about to touch it, it reached up its front leg and put it on mine. And I had this sensation of kind of shock, or just like going through me, and when I kind of regained my composure, I just did this little shaking thing, and then I pulled back and it put down its leg, and I said bye and walked away with the little butterfly sitting there with the acorn. Um, it was a remarkable experience, and it was definitely defamiliarizing for me. So after that, I had several instances where butterflies allowed me to carry them, will allow me to carry them from like the staircase to the university back door and to the gardens where the flowers were. Um, so yeah, I would like carry them around to the flowers, and yeah, after that moment, it was like it didn't become the norm, but it was something that I realized was I was capable of doing, and that was real. So yeah, that's kind of my little defamiliarizing story. But yeah, I hope I did some of that today, especially for those kids. Ah, that was wonderful. All right, that's my art update. Bye.